How you doing, guys? This is Hybridsteel of the Rusty Nuts Garage. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. So, we've got another Porsche to go through. And I say another because there's two Porsches in this season, and this one is for Ian Walls. Now, he wanted a light blue, like almost like I'd say like a baby blue Porsche, but he was very insistent it had to be like a 911. Now, the only 911 we could get at the garage at the auction was this. A 911 Carrera. Now this is a nice car, and in fairness, actually one of the best cars we've picked up from the auction, because normally we buy crap cars and we make them look pretty. This is a pretty car that we're hopefully going to make a little bit nicer, you know, so actually the body parts and the frame and the interior actually do get straightened out properly. So it's going to take a little bit longer to do this car in parts, because what we've got to do is we've got to take the whole thing apart. Then we have to put it all back together, but everything has to be fixed, and so it's all good. We got commission for this one. We bought the car for $146,000. This is the most expensive restoration car I've ever done, apart from the McLaren, which was really expensive. But I mean, this is like a proper car. This isn't like this isn't a mod. This is DLC. So yeah, it looks clean. It looks good. I'm hoping that when we actually start taking this thing apart, it's a lot better than I'm hoping. Because in all fairness, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I mean, we're still going to have to take it apart and we're going to have to put it in. So let's get it inside. Let's get this onto lift one. And let's strip it down. Let's get this going, because the faster we get this one, the better we are. Cool. Awesome. So let's strip the undercarriage off first. Repair what we can. Get everything done. This should be alright. Well, that's pretty much the undercarriage done. All the wheels, bits and pieces, all the linking stuff, everything's off, and it looks all good. Hopefully, can I take the fuel tank off from under here? But what we'll do is we'll take off the bodywork as well, just so, you know, if we need to spark up the paint, we're all good. It won't be anything major. We'll just be sanding it, smoothing it off, making sure that's okay. You know, just general maintenance to make sure the whole car actually works. That's really about it. And that's the oil drained, and it's all gravy, baby. Right, let's get the crane. Well, there you go. So that is basically the entire Porsche stripped down. I think bodywork actually isn't that bad. I mean, the frame needs a little bit of touching, but nothing too major. So this will be a quick job for Danny and Steve. On the plus side, it means they can come over here and help out, because it'd be nice. Let's put it that way. I'm going to be honest. I think the help is going to be needed. I want to make this a quick job. I want to get it over and done with, because there's not really a lot out for us to do. It's just a small renovation. Awesome sauce. That is the last parts of the Porsche that need to be stripped off. So just make sure we've taken the lights, bumper, windows, bits, side panels off, everything. Now it's just a shell, so that's good. Now I'm going to send this over to Danny and Steve. It shouldn't take them too long, and then they can come over and then they can help out, basically, because at the end of the day, I'm going to need a little bit. But apart from that, yeah, I mean, what colour was this officially? So he wanted a matte light blue Porsche. Very different to what we would like standard Porsche would be, because it would be like yellow or red. I mean, they're the colours that come to mind when it comes to Porsche for some obscure reason. Well, I know grey, black and all the others, but yeah, a light blue but a matte coloured with a decal on it. We'll see what we can do. It's all good. Right, okay, so the next thing I've got to do is I've got to strip down the suspension, strip down the wheels, get them all off, and then we'll go through the rims, get them balanced and make sure they're okay as well. Get the engine stripped off and put that down and then make sure that's okay, and then we'll strip off all the other parts we've got laying around, and then we'll clean them up and make sure they're okay as well. It's not really a lot of problems, it's just a lot of making sure that everything's repaired properly, or we get some new parts in just to replace, just to make sure that this is like the best Porsche possible that Ian can own. Yep. Okay, so this is the engine we ripped out the 911. In fairness, you can see where the advancements came from the 911 turbo to this one now. It's a lot less bulky. I mean, it's still the same shape, but it's not like a clamshell where the whole thing's wrapped together and then it's impossible to drain. This one actually did come with the it came with the oil pan. It actually does look a little bit smoother. It just generally looks better, you know, and that's nice. So we're going to rip this one apart now, and then we're going to make sure all the parts are okay, just to make sure it's all clean and everything. We'll give it a full service, and we'll put it all back together, and then it's normally good straight for the customer after that. And obviously, we need to paint this car a specific colour, because that's what we've been asked for. But apart from that, this shouldn't actually be too much of a big job. Well, I mean, stripping down the entire car is a big job, but you know what I mean? Instead of stripping down the entire car and basically restoring every single part or buying every single part, this car should technically not be as a hassle than others that we've dealt with. You know, I mean, we've restored some pretty horrific junkers in this garage, but this should be okay. See the one problem with this funny little window at the bottom of the engine? This, you have to get right in there just to pull out a piston. Design flaw. All grand. Right, now I'm going to go and sit here and repair all the stuff, then we're going to make a shop list, then we're going to put it all back together. As hoping that nothing goes wrong. So yeah, it's been a long day. Well, it's been a long time. So we've stripped the car down, we've taken all the bits off, we've put everything through, we're tidying up what we can. Boxes and new parts should be here, the car should be finished. Yeah, it's been a long run, this one. So I'm going to go home, I'm going to go get some food, I'm going to go for a sleep, and I'll be back on Monday, and then we'll carry it on, and we'll do this Porsche, and we'll get this finished. Ian, I think it's going to be a good one. Right. Catch you in a second. Well, editing second, me weekend. All good. Monday! And they put a new billboard up on the other side. Look at that! I got a billboard with a Pagani outside. How cool is this? It's cool! It's cool! Like, I don't even know when that came in. I'm not even sure how long it's been there for. But, yes. Pagani. Good cars. I haven't got one, but they're good cars. So according to Danny, he sent me a text over the weekend, said that the body is ready to go. So behind door number 1 or 2 is the Porsche. So they've put an undercoat on it already. Apparently the undercoat is blue. It's just so when we put the full coat on top of it, it's got a good base, and it just means that rust won't get into this as much because we're powder coating everything. And yeah, you get the gist. That's blue. That's very blue. I like it. I don't know if that's the one he wanted. So what we'll do is when we go through our paint scheme, we actually paint this colour properly. We'll see what we can do with this, but he wanted a light blue, and he wanted it matte, and that is matte blue. So we'll see. Right, I'm going to go and put the engine back together. It's going to take a little while, and then we get to put this back together, and then it should be all good. Right, to the engine area. Yeah, here, basically. Okay, let me get this on together, and then we'll carry on with the car. There we go, one fully built 911 Carrera engine, and yeah, it actually wasn't that bad. There was one or two bits we replaced, but the most of it was literally just what we had before, you know, just cleaning up and chucking it back in together. It's all good, you know, there's nothing really wrong with it. I mean, as I said, apart from a few bits, but nothing. Next on the agenda of things that we have to put ourselves through is to basically fit everything together. Downside is, first off, we've got to put the engine in, because, as we all know, that we have to put the engine in as the body drops onto it, because if you can't put it in through the top, because that's body work and doesn't fit through holes this big, so we have to do this first. All good. So I'm going to go and get the crane, and then what we'll do is we'll put it on here, we'll put it on a couple of blocks here, and as the car comes down, we'll just slide it into place and pop. And there we go, snug as a bug in a Porsche. Yeah, because it's not a bug, is it? But next on the things that we've got to do, put things back on, that's it. And then we'll address this colour coding, because it's alright, I'm just not sure if that's the blue he really wanted. See how things go. Good, right, engine's in, then we've got to put the air filter back on, then we've got to do the exhaust and so on, but we'll leave that for a bit, because what we've got to do now is just put all the rest of the stuff underneath, make sure all that fits, then we'll move on to the engine, then we'll put the bodywork back on, then we get to go and play in it, because, you know, we have to test it. We're not playing, we're doing it for a job. We never have fun, ever. Bah! Right, anyways, let's fix this car, shall we, and then we can go from there. Alright, so that's everything underneath done, all good. All fantastic. Now we've just got to get into the engine, put all the bits and pieces back together, air filter, water, fluids, that sort of thing. So nothing too major, which should be all good. And then we got to work on just getting the bodywork done, and then get it painted. And then we get to go and test it. Now this should be okay. I'm not gonna, as we haven't really put much in the way of like we haven't put any performance parts in this. These cars are powerful enough as it is. Don't need extra power, but what would be nice would have been just like an extra bit of shininess. I don't really want to paint bits of the engine just to make it look fake chrome. That's not what I'm into. So hopefully what I do with this car, just renovating it, making sure it works, is good enough, because if it's good enough for him, then it's good enough for me, and then it's good enough for two, I'm sure it'll have to do. Apart from that, we're all good. So, but as you can see, we do need to do a proper respray, and the reason why is because there's new parts on there, bits that we couldn't get obviously before, and then there's bits that are not, well, they're brand new, or they're not brand new. You can tell, original, brand new, older but clean. That's all. I like this. It's really coming together now, really coming together, and it's starting to look like what it should be, apart from the multicolour thing. Yep, it's all good. All right, cool. So what we'll do is we'll go and chuck this off now into the we're going to line the wheels, do the headlights, we'll do all the boring stuff away from the camera. You don't have to worry about it, and then the next time you see it, it should be cruising down the airstrip, blaze of glory, sun shining on a nice day, hopefully, and then yeah, this car's off for Ian, so it's all good. So I'm going to go and do all the boring stuff now. See you in just a sec. Well, there we go, Ian. There's your brand new Porsche 911 Carrera. So there we go, one Porsche 911. Look at it in matte blue. That nice sort of like a nice upbeat, lively looking, fresh blue car. White decals as requested. Nice set of rims on it, even though they're Porsche standard, they still look good. And the car just purrs. So thank you very much for joining me. This has been Hybridsteel. If you have enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, notification button below for all other updates. I'll be back here with a brand new video, live stream, or whatever else I do on this channel. Until then, I want to say thank you very much for kicking by. Peace out, have fun, enjoy everything you guys do. Bye bye for now.